All right, take a look. The activities of the business. Now, the Take a Look series are short videos with instructions on specific topics to be learned, followed by instructions and doing homework in a practical exercise. And now they're designed to help you understand exactly what needs to be done so that you can apply this and what you learned and then go build your business. And as you gain an understanding of each of the topics, your skills and ability will improve dramatically. And I hope you enjoy the series. Activities of the business. And today I'm here to talk to you about the activities of the business. And we're going to explore how knowing this can play a huge role in creating your success. And when you're finished listening, you should do your homework and then review what you've learned with your sponsor, your mentor, and then go out and really build a big business. What are the activities of networking? Building a successful business. Now, the first thing to look at is the word activity, because this is important in its definition. And Merriam-Webster says that activity is the quality or state of being active, behavior or actions of a particular kind, vigorous or energetic action, liveliness, a process, an educational procedure designed to stimulate learning by firsthand experience, an active force, a pursuit in which a person is active, business activities, social activities, an organizational unit for performing a specific function, duties. So from this, then, activities cover a lot of ground specific to our business of network marketing. And it seems, however, that the key definition is that activities relate to doing something that contributes to getting a result, and then eventually what you want. So in the next few pages, we're going to look at the key activities of this business and what you need to do to get what you want and move forward. So here's a list of most of the activities that I looked at from what I did involving my business over the years: planning, strategy, imagining, dreaming, thinking, writing scripts, speaking with others, qualifying individuals, making presentations, signing people up, calling people on the phone, follow-up calling, demonstrations of some kind, research, speaking with upline or a mentor, attending or creating events, talking with people when you're out and about, doing training classes or mentoring, reading books, prospecting for new distributors, new customers, organizing, administration, and practicing. Now, I'm sure you could figure out there are others, and then you could take each one of these and break those down, but these are the general specific activities of the business. Now, there are basically three basic steps to the business. Now, the first one is information, and this is enough to make a decision to move forward. And the second is to launch or start to do the known activities that create results that are required. And then the third one is to build and grow based on the plan, doing one step at a time. Now, after that, then you monitor your results by keeping statistics and records and seeing what works and what doesn't. Then correct or change or enhance activities. Change what doesn't, strengthen what does. Build and grow, follow the plan, do one step at a time, monitor results, continue always to see how activities relate to results, achieve your goal, and then celebrate. Very important. Celebrate when you achieve your goal. Create a new one, okay? Time for a new goal, a new game, and then repeat the process, start all over again. So in a fundamental way, these are the basic steps of doing the business. So if we really look at step one, this is probably the most important step, as this gets everything going. And we call this the indoctrination step. And what's indoctrination? Well, it's to instruct, especially in fundamentals or rudiments, teach. So for the individual, it's learning the basics. This is covered quite thoroughly in Take a Look, Getting Started, and completing that organizer, which is basically a tool to get everything you need identified and lined up. And this activity includes planning, strategy, imagination, learning, writing, practicing, And the idea here is that the new distributor gets completely oriented so that he or she knows what needs to be learned, what must be done in order to get what he or she wants, and that he or she understands how it will get done and what he or she must do, what the resources are, who's going to help, what the company does, and how it basically works. Very important step. So as an example of this, and most recent event most of us went through was the new back office. Now, this was a completely different platform, new tabs, new locations for information, new functionality, a different look. Information was presented differently than we were used to, but the end result was that the information provided helped us as distributors as it did before. Ordering was new, the shopping cart was new, gathering information was new. It was new, it was different, it was unfamiliar to most. We all needed an orientation and an indoctrination on the new back office. Now, we're a few months past that point. Most, if not all, the glitches have been fixed, where we've had plenty of instruction and videos and lots of practice. And I believe that we now completely understand how to use the back office to get what we want. So this then is the idea of doing step one. It's basically the same concept. So if we look at what a concept is, a notion, an abstract or generic idea. So let's take a look. Step one, you have a meeting with your sponsor and you see that you could get what you want, and maybe it's a great monthly income, sets up your future, whatever that may be, okay? And you see that by joining, you could get that. You learn all about Nikon, the plan you'll follow, the plan and strategize how this will come up to fruition by understanding what needs to be done over what period of time with your sponsor and mentor. You sign up or you do a basic training program. You study about your products and you learn the basics of the compensation plan. You work out what you are going to say and practice that while you prepare to take on the next major activity of launching your business. Very important. You attend every possible event or meeting you can so you get familiar with the language and how others present. And you want to watch as many videos on building this kind of business as you can. Also read books about this profession. And as you have learned, you want to put together a couple of lists of people you know and are associated with. One is for potential business involvement, and the second is for product use. Now, for me, I learned that when I started with the business, I could easily drop from the product to the product discussions if they weren't interested in the business first. And it was much more difficult to go the other way. A very interesting idea there. You'll want to work on that with your sponsor. Now, once you have your list drawn up, the idea is to strategize and plan how you're going to approach them and how you're going to involve them in launching your business, which is going to be explained in the step two part. But this is a key issue because that's what makes this all work. Now, as an example, you've heard me talk about Ralph and Jerry, my neighbors, and they wanted to replace Jerry's income and create a business where the two of them could work together from home. And this is on many videos that I've talked about before. So once they became aware and understood how this could be done and understood that they could, in fact, do what was required with the right training and support, they decided to play. Remember, beauty's in the eye of the beholder here. Now, let's take a look at this. So that once that was done, my first action was to then educate Jerry, who was the one that would be doing most of the work. And then she would inform Ralph, her husband, and of what he could do as well. And we spent the better part of the last 2 weeks of December doing that. And she didn't want to actually start till after the holidays were over. So it made perfect sense. And this was perfect because of the 2 weeks were over. She knew everything that she needed to move forward. And during this time, we also figured out how she would launch her business. This then is a key step, step one, ready to do step two. If step one is done right, then it's easy to move on. Step one is by far one of the most important steps there is. Now let's take a look at step two. The whole purpose of getting involved and then launching your business is so you can create that machine, the operation, your enterprise. that helps you getting what you want. And I'm assuming that means a great income and great lifestyle. Therefore, the whole purpose of recruiting others is to help build your team, help them get involved, help develop their business so they can get what they want. And when that happens, guess what? You get more of what you want. It's a worthy objective, and more importantly, how it is structured, organized, and how the business actually works. So if we bring back Jerry for a moment, and rather than after her initial indoctrination, we decided that the idea for her to launch her business was doing 3 consecutive in-home wellness previews, which was basically a complete overview of Nikan, the products, the industry, etc., 1 each week. Now, she would do the call and invite her friends. So there's that one of those activities and associates. And then I would do the meetings, help and support. And the intention, and this is really important, the intention was for her to find her first 3 key partners. She created a list, and based on her real life circumstance, started calling those on her list and inviting them to participate in her activity, and based on what she learned and practiced with me ahead of time. So we practiced this whole routine. She knew exactly what to say. She practiced it. And so when she called the people on her list, it was easy for her to communicate, get excited, and get them involved. And that excitement passed on, and that's for sure. Now, 2 important points here. 1, first, having an event to participate in. Very, very, very important. And the second is calling to get others to attend. So to start, it would be to focus on quantity. In other words, you'd want to get as many people to the meeting as possible. I think her first one, there were about 5 new people that showed up, and she created a nice product display, had snacks and drinks, and we held the meeting. Now, this brings to mind a couple of really important points in the line of doing and being prepared with intention. She had products, and this was created a nice display. She had literature, and she was well studied to have decent conversations. Get it? All right. The business works when people buy products. So when distributors are building a business, it gets even more exciting, because the more distributors that are recruited, the more customers are created, and the larger everything gets. So with this in mind, then Jerry knew what she had to do and went after it with intention and desire. Her second meeting, she had about the same 5 new people, and the third was also about the same. She had about 5 new people there. But the most fascinating part was she found her first 3 key distributors, 1 each meeting. Now, I already knew this, but it is the activities that are known to create the results that work. So this is the whole focus here. And if they're done in a sufficient quantity, I mean, this is very important also. Just do lots and lots and lots, kind of an idea. So she called and called and called. The rest took care of itself. And this sets up for the next step, which is the building step. Climb the ladder, follow the plan, 1 step at a time. So step 3, the first step of the ladder is basically silver. And the reason this is the first step is that all the benefits of the compensation plan open up at this level. Therefore, getting here opens the rest. But again, understanding what to do here is also very important. You're going to find in the Take a Look series, Building to Silver, and on the video, you will learn the basics. But for our purposes today, really, what's really important is that you learn and understand as much as you can about this for one specific purpose, to help others. Now, here's a dose of reality, and you really want hundreds of silvers in your organization, and that's where the big money is, and that's what's going to help you get what you want, correct? So a rough scale, 50 silvers has a potential of 5,000 plus per month in residual income. And so therefore 100 silvers, 10,000 plus. And at the peak of my business, I had over 3,000 silvers and above in my organization, not all on my pay line, but in the entire group. So there's the game to play, right? All right. Now, all of the work in the first stage was starting to pay off, and the launch was successful to the point where she now had 3 distributors to play with. Okay, this is important. So for the new distributors, they started with stage 1, education, planning, which then created the opportunity for Jerry and her first target going silver. And at that time, it was a little bit more than what it is right now, but the idea was still the same. So she was going to get there with their help. And this is really important. This is a real key point. Sure enough, a month later, she was silver, but more importantly, she had 3 distributors also poised to go silver. And in those days, we needed 3 silvers to go gold. And so Jerry in her 3rd month is almost there. Awesome job for sure. Now, what made this happen as quickly as it did was the help and direction I provided by directing my attention under Jerry, starting with her first distributor, Naomi. Now, while Jerry was working on finding number 2 and 3, I got together with Naomi and worked on stage 1 and stage 2 ideas. This then creates another valuable lesson in building your business for the long term and how it works. First, with the retail customer, they will buy products, and if you follow up and educate them, they will buy most, if not all, of what you have. You want to think then long term, understand that idea of subscription. It becomes very important. Second, with distributors, they do 2 activities, as you know. They find customers, but they also find other distributors who do the same. And looking at your future, this is then the key point. Therefore, in building to new ranks, you want to have other distributors in your group building to their new rank. And this is a key. This is very important. It's the teamwork. So I found that for the long term, it becomes the need to qualify that actually drives the business forward. And the more distributors that you have that are in that position, the stronger your business becomes. Teamwork at its finest, I might add. Jerry is working on the 2nd and 3rd meeting, and I'm working on getting Naomi started, and it worked. By the time Jerry had her 3rd launch meeting, Naomi had her 1st. And all of a sudden, Jerry's organization has started to go deep as intended. And this is one of those activities that is known to create results, and that is going deep and working at the lowest level. Our Wednesday night wellness meetings start to load up with new guests every week. And now, because more than one person wanted to get what they wanted by being involved. Over the next few months, Jerry's organization grew. She reached gold with 3 solid working silvers, and then eventually platinum with three solid productive working golds, with a total of over 30 silvers in our organization and more being created. There's a huge lesson here, and we need to know it like ice so that you can make it happen for yourself. I needed Jerry to go platinum so I could get to royal. So I had to help her 1,000% to ensure that happened. I pushed the depth and kept pushing and working at the lowest level, kept doing the meeting activities and weekly training activities and large-scale events because I knew what I wanted, what it was made of, and what had to be done to get there. This is so important. Jerry was willing because she too wanted her objective, a replaced income source, a work with husband from home opportunity, and a lot of fun to boot. As a matter of fact, Ralph and I went to Japan in 1998 and I reached Royal Diamond. So this achievement was planned and well executed with lots of activities from the list that we created earlier and related to what would create the desired results. And we got the desired results. This organization is still producing today. So utilizing knowledge and experience followed by doing the activities that are known to work is the route to take. And if you're new, then find the right person, coach or mentor that knows the ropes and knows what to do. But more importantly, look to your upline and get an agreement for them to help and follow the plan, starting with stage 1. If you've been around for a while and you're now either restarting, starting over, adding on, the same advice would apply. But because you know enough to be dangerous, my best advice here is find one person who wants to play and then help them build like crazy. And then you piggyback off of that success. So when I started with Nikan, essentially I was starting over from experiences in the industry that didn't work out the way I had intended. So this is what I did exactly. And then what is published on daverolf.com is what I learned. In summary, the business is really simple in terms of what one does and the results that are created. All we do is talk to people and find out what they need and or want, and then we show them how they can get that with a Nikan solution. If you get smart and focus on a particular way that causes more action and more results, then you're going to win big time. and so can many others. The key is being smart and following a successful plan. Nothing in terms of the need to make a living has changed since I started. And today there are more people to talk to. So get going and start talking. But I'm going to add to this idea in the homework assignment, and you'll see what I mean. So the idea here is to figure out what activities you need and then create a plan around doing those activities, either for yourself or for someone in your group. If you have a mentor or with a sponsor, take a look at the stages and then the activities that would relate to each. List them out, plan on how they'll get done, and keep doing this. And at the same time, find videos on daverolf.com or other places that relate to the activities that you're interested in learning about and doing. Finally, practice, 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 and most importantly, have fun doing this. So thanks for watching today. We'll see you the next time, and we'll end off here and stop the share, and we'll see you on the next event. Bye for now.